Hi everybody, it's me Ali. Welcome back to another video. So today I wanted to do a video that was requested by my friend Blaine. Shout out Blaine, I'll put his channel in the description below. But today I really wanted to talk about a favorite story of mine, and that is the time that someone who bullied me got their karma, and also another instance of karma that I can think of in my own life. And for those of you who don't know, hi, I'm Ali. I'm an intuitive practitioner and I'm into all things witchy, occulty, tarot, you name it. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, please subscribe if you'd like to see more videos. I'm talking today about karma and what happens to people when they sort of do you wrong, essentially. So for privacy's sake, because a lot of this stuff is in the past, I'm not going to go into very specific details of this. I'm just going to tell the main story of what happened, and whoever resonates with it. Hopefully it will help people to realize that, you know, the people who do you wrong, things will happen to them. Like, yes, I don't believe we should wish ill on people, but at the same time, it is the law of like cause and effect and that kind of thing. If that's something you believe in, that what we give out will come back to us tenfold. But I'm not going to go into full private details. Please do not try to track anybody down that's related to this story. I'm just sharing my experience, and yeah, hopefully this will show you that there is good in the world and things do happen and you can heal from stuff. I was at uni in 2015. Like I was gonna have a degree in communications, Bachelor of Communications. I was put into a situation where it was not a very sustainable or healthy, long living situation. It was not somewhere I wanted to be. I was essentially put with people who were not accommodating to my disability. One of them was, the other two weren't. So they were very much like, I don't know why we have to share a flat with this person, and it was very much an inconvenience to them. And so for 5 months, I was made to feel basically that it was my fault because I didn't want to come to uni and party like they did, and so they thought there was something abnormal about that. They would make me basically cry every day and make it feel like it was my fault, like I was being annoying or a hassle to them because my carers were coming in. I had to have student carers come in and look after me, and that was the biggest inconvenience to them. But other examples is they would leave the flat dirty. I would have to clean it up, or I would volunteer to clean it up of my own back. And instead of pitching in to help, it was basically up to me to get the bug spray, to get things that were needed. Just not a good time for me, for my mental health. They would keep me up all hours of the night, and they would just sneer down at me. They were not good people, essentially. They had a lot of privilege and power that I did not have, and they made sure to make people aware of that power and that privilege. They just had, you know, a chip on their shoulder about people who were different from them, especially this one girl of the two. And I had the most issues with her. So it was okay for her to say things about me and about other people. But the second that I said anything negative about her, it was a confrontation. When she would discuss me like I couldn't hear, it was suddenly an issue, when I would never hardly talk ill about anybody. Now, she had her issues going on. She basically just did not like me for whatever reason. She just had this mocking about it, you know, where she would just mock people and make them feel less than. And I heard a lot of stories about this person and she had a negative energy as well. Like, I can feel energy, and I didn't know I could at the time, but her energy just made me feel stink every day. I ended up having a mental breakdown because of everything going on, because my carers weren't adequate and I dropped out of university, okay? Which is not something I'm proud to admit, but I think it was the right path for me at the time. You shouldn't be ashamed if you have to make that choice and make that decision. It was not an easy decision. I am no longer in school. I did online learning afterwards for about a year, and my mental health just relapsed. I am a spiritualist who does have, mental health struggles. Things for me at the time were very, very difficult, and I wasn't spiritual back then, and I was just miserable, okay? So I drop out of school, and these girls, they transfer or move to another flat, but they put in a request to be moved to another floor. And so when I came back for my second term, when I did drop out, I was with different people anyway, so that was fine. I got on with my life, didn't really think about them at first, but in mental health instances, I would feel really bad because I would feel like, well, if I had had a different living situation, I wouldn't be a failure. Like, that's what I was thinking. If I had had a different life experience, if I had not been gaslit by the organization that was providing the care, because they did gaslight me, okay? And again, I'm not going to name names and go into full specifics, but they did gaslight me, and they made me think it was my fault for complaining about my living situation and that I had to hang in there, okay? So the more I stewed over it, for years, I kind of held on to a lot of resentment, okay? And as we know, especially as if we're spiritual people, that is not good, because what it does is it does dampen your energy. Like, it makes you feel fatigued, it makes you feel drained, it makes you feel tired, and it makes you a less better version of yourself than you know you can be, okay? I was carrying this around with me, and one night I was on the phone a couple of years later. This was 2015, and in 2021, I think New Zealand had I think we'd just come out of our COVID, like lockdowns being lifted. And I was talking to a friend on the phone, and I was explaining to her about some of this stuff that had happened in my life. And I said to her, I said, I don't wish ill on people, but I hope this girl, who I said her name, but I'm not going to name her here. I said, I hope she learns from what she did and that she gets what she deserves, kind of thing. Like, I was angry, so I wasn't really thinking about what I was saying. I just remember I had all this rage, and I'm usually a people pleaser. I'm usually polite, and I try not to step on people's toes. If I want to complain about someone, I'll complain about them to trusted friends, okay? So this is what I was doing. I was like, and I really just, her energy is so bad. Like, I just hope that she's learned from how she's treated other people, because she was a nasty person. And I do hope what I'm about to tell you, I hope that it did change her. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and act like I did something, but I definitely think that was sort of an instigator for it, because I didn't think any more about it. I said bye to my friend, I went to bed, and then the next day, a friend from uni messages me, and she's like, oh, did you hear about blank? And I was like, no, I didn't hear about blank, like, what's going on? She sends me an article and it was during like the stuff, and she had decided to show off, and the way to show off, again, not naming names, was she decided to basically do a haka and do a whole load of things and mock Maori culture. And thousands of people commented on this article. Thousands of people saw this article of this girl who had been incredibly cruel to me and to other people. It showed her for what she was. I was like, oh my goodness, like, this is the karma that I almost not wanted for her, but like, it's like someone above heard me and was like, we got you, okay? Like, when I tell you everybody slandered this person, and usually I would feel bad if someone was getting picked on, I didn't, because that gave me, and I think Blaine has said it as well, but it gave me the peace I needed to heal. It gave me a way to move on. And what was funny was in the comments of that article on Instagram, a girl with a very distinct name who had also bullied me when I was in high school, had called me slurs, and was just not a nice person, was commenting, criticizing that person. And so it was the most bizarre. It was like, you know how people say we live in a simulation? It felt like that. Like, it didn't feel like it was real. Like, it felt like a movie. Like, it felt like an out-of-body experience, to be honest. Like, it didn't feel real. Like, I knew it was happening, but it was the way everything lined up. And it gave me the peace that I needed. So, while I don't condone wishing ill on people, okay, sometimes people do get what they deserve. And the fact that this girl who had caused me misery every day for 5 months was finally getting shown for her true colours, for what she was, that gave me so much, peace and calmness within my soul. And as I've said, don't go looking for this. Don't dox anything. I do not care. I'm just sharing this story for people who wonder when karma is coming, okay? There's also another instance I had that I thought I might throw in here, where I had a care provider who was not very nice to one of my employees, because they were the main boss of this person, but they were not very understanding to one of my carers who I was friendly with. And I openly said, I was like, oh, I really dislike her, and I dislike the way she's treated such and such. And the next day, she said, oh, I've had issues with my foot. And I go, oh, what happened? And she goes, I was stung by a bee. And I was trying not to laugh, because I knew, I seem to have a thing, when I speak out loud and when I say I want something to happen, and I know that this person will get what they deserve, I know this person will get what they want, or I'm manifesting for people, it always happens. Like, I do believe that I am a witch on some level, at some capacity, and I'm not going to act like I'm, better than anybody else, or that, I made this happen or whatever, but I definitely think there is some truth to the fact that after I spoke out loud, that did happen, and I did get vindicated, and I did feel vindicated, because it wasn't just me that saw her in that light, that felt that way. With both of these people, it was, they got something that matched up to what they had done, and I knew it was my spirit guides looking out for me. I just want you guys to know, if you're feeling lost and alone and afraid, and you feel like people are being so cruel to you, and they're hurting you, and they are, abusing you, or just not treating you well, their day will come. They will be shown for what they are, because energy doesn't lie. Actions don't lie, okay? If somebody shows you or others who they are, believe that. If you are shown who a person is, find peace in the fact that other people will see them for who they are. It won't just be you. Like, eventually they will piss off the wrong person, and that will cause a ripple effect in their life. It's like you drop a pebble into a lake and it ripples, okay? You can't just go around, treat people like garbage, and not expect to get garbage in return, okay? That's life. Maybe it's a limiting belief. My law of assumption girlies, I'm so sorry, but I truly do believe. Get a little bit back from what you give, okay? And sometimes in that girl's case, you get a lot. I hope this was a good video, just kind of short. Like, I'm still trying to figure out what I want to talk about on this channel. Sorry if this was all over the place. Hopefully it made sense. I'm trying not to give away, as I said, too many personal details because it happened a long time ago. What's done is done. They've had their karma. I just wanted to share it because I think it's an interesting, cool story. I can't believe that it happened. So, yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this and let me know what else you would want to see. And also, like I said, if you want to subscribe to see more videos from me, feel free to do so. I appreciate you guys so much. And I'll see you next time. Okay, bye guys, bye.